What's up, everybody? I'm Johnny Lee, and this is the Self-Sufficiency channel. Today we're asking a question most religious people never want to look at directly. Is God merciful, or is he malevolent? This came from a comment I got where someone said, being an atheist and spending your time disproving a God is the dumbest thing in the world. Well, that tells me two things. Number one, they don't understand what atheism actually is. And number two, they don't understand how dangerous the Abrahamic God has been in human history and in real people's lives right now. If this God was like Santa or the Tooth Fairy, I wouldn't care. There are no crusades for Santa. Nobody's burning people at the stake for the Tooth Fairy. But the Abrahamic God, Yahweh, Jehovah, Allah, has been used to justify crusades, the Inquisitions, burnings, slavery, terrorism, and the destruction of families like mine from the inside out. So no, I'm not quote unquote arguing with someone I don't believe in. I'm at war with the idea of this God because that idea is what does the damage. So let's clear this up quickly. Atheism is simply the disbelief in God or gods. That's it. I'm not claiming to disprove your God. I'm saying you are making a claim, so you carry the burden of proof. If you say there's an all-powerful, all-knowing, all-loving God running the universe, then that claim needs evidence, verifiable, testable, and consistent. And when I look at the real world and the Bible itself, what I see does not line up with the word merciful. What does merciful even mean? Let's define our terms. Merciful means bringing someone relief from something unpleasant. Malevolent means wishing harm or evil on others, showing ill will, being malicious. So when Judaism, Christianity, and Islam say God is merciful, what they're telling you is that their God sees suffering, cares about it, and acts to bring relief. That's the claim. The question is, does the text and reality match that? Now in Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 31, it declares, "For the Lord your God is a merciful God." Okay, let's test that. In Isaiah chapter 45 verse 7, the same God says, "I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things." Even when people try to soften evil into calamity, the point is still the same. Yahweh claims responsibility for peace and disaster. In Amos chapter 3 verse 6, it says, "Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord has not done it?" In other words, if a calamity hits a city, Yahweh says, "I did that." There's no Satan in ancient Israel's belief system doing his own thing. That character comes later in Christian theology. In the Old Testament, Yahweh owns the credit. So when you look at a 9/11 or a genocide or a natural disaster that wipes out thousands, and you say God is in control, you are saying this is the merciful being behind it all. Does that sound like relief from something unpleasant or the cause of it. Then you get verses like Hosea chapter 13, verse 16. Samaria shall become desolate. Their infants shall be dashed in pieces, and their women with child shall be ripped up. That is God's judgment according to the text. Babies smashed to pieces, pregnant women ripped open, because the nation rebelled. Ask yourself honestly, is that what a merciful being does? Do innocent infants deserve that? Christians will say, well, that's the wages of sin. God is just. No, that's not justice. That's collective punishment and terror. If any other religion's God ordered that, you'd call it evil. This isn't a new problem. The Greek philosopher Epicurus, long before Christianity, asked questions that still haven't been answered honestly. Is God willing to prevent evil, but not able? Then he is not omnipotent. Is he able, but not willing? Then he is malevolent. Is he both able and willing? Then whence cometh evil? Is he neither able nor willing? Then why call him God? End quote. If your God sees every murder, assault, and abuse, has the power to stop it, but chooses not to, that is not mercy, that is malevolence. Mercy would be stepping in and bringing relief from what is unpleasant. According to your own book, he doesn't do that. This isn't just theory for me. Christianity stole something I can never get back: a normal relationship with my Father. Because of our religion, I grew up in a house where my autonomy was taken in God's name. When I finally stopped believing, my father, being faithful to Jesus, told me I couldn't stay and risk influencing my siblings. I had no money, no job, and had to figure it out alone. That's not a father's choice. That's a system where Jesus openly says he came to divide father and son, mother and daughter, where loyalty to a deity is placed above love for your own children. Later in his life, even my father realized that God had failed him. Reality didn't match the promises. I used to be bitter. Now I see it differently. My father didn't raise me. Yahweh did. My father was just another victim of the same religion, doing the best he knew. Yahweh got 20 years of my life. I can't get those years back, but I can try to make sure he doesn't get yours. So when someone asks, why do you spend your time talking about a God you don't believe in? The answer is simple: because this idea hurts people, because it robs children of their autonomy, because it divides families, because it justifies cruelty and calls it holiness. I'm not at war with a being in the sky. I'm at war with a theory that says there is a loving, merciful God in control, but somehow he's okay with all of this. And if that God doesn't exist, people are wasting their one life chasing a lie. If he does exist and still allows this, he is not merciful. He is malevolent and unworthy of worship. Either way, the conclusion is the same. You are better off building your life on reality and self-sufficiency than on hoping an invisible being will fix what he clearly refuses to fix. I don't expect to live to see a world without religion. But I want to play my part in pushing the next generation a little further away from fear and control. If you left Christianity, or you're questioning it, I'm asking you, tell your story, document your journey, give your children a chance to think for themselves. Atheism is not a license to harm people. It's freedom from a system that has been harming people for centuries. We can build morality, compassion, and justice without pretending torture and genocide are loving when God does it. If this resonated with you, subscribe. Share it with someone wrestling with the God is love claim, and drop a comment telling me where you're at in your process. Remember, no one is coming to save you, but you can save yourself from worshiping something that doesn't deserve you.